That's a big old ball of cheese. This is the What a Weird Week show for Friday, September 8th, 2023.
Hi, everybody, it's Weird.
This is like crazy being here.
Really weird tales.
Well, I got a great show for you today with some wonderful weird stuff.
Hi, friends. I'm Scott. This is What a Weird Week, a show about weird stuff from this week's news. If you want links, audio, video, photos, warm thoughts, just remember shownotes.page. You can find it all if you get to shownotes.page.
10.
Here we go. Season 4, episode 50, first published on Friday, September the 8th, 2023. Kicking our weird news of the week off at number 10 is Venice, Italy, to start charging a cover charge of €5 for tourists who want to enjoy a day trip to Venice. This is only on select days to start. Seems like they're just trying it out. People who live in Venice are often outnumbered by tourists, and that can be a drag when you're just trying to get across town to your dentist appointment and somebody is like, "Will you take my picture by this boat? Look, everybody, I'm Marco Polo." I imagine that plays out on a daily basis in Venice, but I'm not sure. Will a $5 cover charge stop over tourism? I highly doubt it. If you've paid the money to go to Venice and then they're like, whoa, you can't come in, it's going to be $5. I mean, I do have an uncle who would be like, $5, I'll wait in the car. But most everybody else, you're going to pay the $5. But will a $5 cover charge make a ton of money for the people of Venice? No, it will not, because they have to pay to administer this program. Can't even get a cup of coffee in Venice probably for $5, right? Less than a cup of coffee. Do you think maybe they're testing this out and someday you'll show up with your $5 to get into Venice and they'll be like, "Oh no, we've raised the price. It's $5.20. Or heaven forbid, $5.99. Seems like this is a story to watch.
9.
Our number 9 story is the man and lady suspected of busting a hole through the Great Wall of China because wanted to make a shortcut. A 38-year-old man and a 55-year-old woman who were working nearby have been detained while the investigation continues. They're suspected of using an excavator to bust through the Great Wall to create a shortcut for their construction work. I take a complicated view on this because, I mean, yes, it's an ancient wonder. To the world, that is an ancient wonder, the Great Wall of China. But if you got to go all the way around every time you forget something in the truck or somebody's like, "Oh, Bob's here to sign those papers." "Oh, Bob, the papers are in the truck. I got to go all the way around, Bob." "Bernice, cover for me. I'll be back in 6 hours." You know, if it's that kind of scenario, I could see the temptation. The excavator is sitting there and you're like, punch a quick hole through here and I'm back at the parking lot. I'll be back in a jiff. Not saying it was, the right thing to do to the ancient wonder. Anyway, story is continuing, investigation continues, so we'll find out. I guess maybe they don't have surveillance cameras all along the Great Wall of China, so they have to do some old-fashioned detective work on this. Bringing the weird news of the week to your ear holes. This is What a Weird Week.
8.
Number 8 in our countdown of the 10 weird news items of the week is GNOMES in the news. GNOMES in the news. Police in the UK are warning people about gnome crime. They say if you find a mysterious garden gnome in your yard, you need to contact the cops and go on high alert. That is me paraphrasing. It could be that robbers have put the gnome in your yard because they're scoping out your place. It's a way to see if you're home. If the robbers come by and they see their gnome hasn't been touched, it tells them that there's probably no one at your house and your place is burglar friendly. If you've been involved in a mystery gnoming, contact your police. I got to say, this one seems like an urban legend to me or something, but I mean, there are real statements from police about this. It just seems like something you would see on Home Alone. In the Home Alone movie franchise, Home Alone 8, Gnome Alone. That one, that could be animated. Hold on a second. Writing that one down in the $1 million idea book. Let me know in the comments if you have Steven Spielberg's address. I'd appreciate that. A personal phone number, maybe personal phone number. I think I'd be better on the phone.
7.
Mullet World Record. Tammy Manis is a nurse from Tennessee who hasn't cut the party in the back since 1990. Business up front, party in the back, a mullet. Tammy was recently in the news for her world record mullet hairstyle, which is longer than she is tall. Her mullet is 5'8". One time, 33 years ago, she cut her mullet, and then she regretted it. She missed it so much. And she vowed to immediately start growing a new mullet. Here we are, 33 years later. Guinness World Record, 5'8" mullet. If you want to see photos, click shownotes.page or the show notes of your podcatcher if you're listening on podcast. Weird things from this week's news. This is What a Weird Week.
6.
Number 6 on our countdown, man interviewed on BBC TV by mistake is back in the news. In case you missed it, in 2006, a fella named Guy went to the BBC for a job interview. At the same time, the TV channel was expecting an expert, also named Guy, to do a live TV interview. So one was job interview, one was an interview on TV. Well, the long story short is the wrong guy ended up on TV, and he did his best to fake his way through it.
Well, Guy Cuny is the editor of the technology website News Wireless. Hello, good morning to you.
Good morning.
Were you surprised by this verdict today?
I'm very surprised to see this verdict to come on me, because I was not expecting that. When I came, they told me something else, and I'm coming. You got an interview there, so it's a big surprise anyway.
A big surprise.
Exactly.
Yes, yeah.
There's a link in our show notes to the whole clip if you want to check it out. An incredible case of mistaken identity on live television. Well, that was from 2006. That fellow is back in the news because he would like some of the income that's been generated by his viral video moment. Basically, that's the story. BBC, their YouTube has gotten, maybe 5-6 million views of the incident. It's been meme-ified and all that. And now Guy is thinking, hey, any of that money coming my way? What about Guy? Where's Guy's money? That is me paraphrasing. But if you want to watch the video, read the article, all of that, just click the show notes, shownotes.page.
5.
Number 5 this week, record-breaking cheese ball is enormous. I don't think I would pronounce the name of the Mexican town correctly, so I would encourage you to read the article. We link to that. But this Mexican town, in 4 hours, took a whole lot of stringy cheese and made it into the biggest cheese ball in the world. Type of cheese is called, one of the names for it is quesillo. I'm probably saying that wrong also, but it's a stringy cheese. In the same way you would make an elastic band ball, out of collecting elastic bands, they took all this stringy cheese and just started wrapping and balling that cheese, and kablammy, they got a cheese ball weighing in at 1,230 pounds. It was around 3 feet across. The cheese ball and experts in action is hypnotizing, is something to see. The video is in the show notes. Congratulations, cheese ballers, on a wonderful world record accomplishment. It looked delicious. Welcome back to the countdown of the 10 weird things from this week's news. What a weird week.
4,
Our number 4 story is the Real Barbie Oppenheimer, a retired Boston University professor with 5 grandchildren named Barbie Oppenheimer made news after doing an interview with Slate about what it's like to be named Barbie Oppenheimer. And it would seem like it's kind of annoying to be named Barbie Oppenheimer, at least at times. She seems to get a lot of, "Is that your real name or are you messing with me, lady?" You know, whenever Barbie tries to book a hotel room over the phone, that type of thing, she's getting some pushback on her actual legit name. And I think that's about it. You can read the whole article. We linked to the Slate interview, but I believe we've pared that down and got to the heart of the story. It ain't easy being Barbie Oppenheimer. By the way, if you're like, "I don't get it, Barbie Oppenheimer, why would that be a struggle?" Maybe you haven't seen that many movies this summer. We can't expect you to be up on all of the trends all the time, all summer long, so don't worry about it. There were a couple of movies out this summer. No, you know what? Don't worry about it.
3,
Extreme athletes dream of hamster-wheeling across the ocean. Thwarted. Reza Baluchi. I believe I pronounced all of his names wrong, so batting 1,000. Ray is a fella who has this giant floating hamster wheel that he wanted to use to cross the Atlantic. Somebody, and it seems like maybe it was the U.S. Coast Guard, has taken to calling the contraption a hamster wheel of doom. The U.S. Coast Guard and Ray have had run-ins. It seems like these run-ins are related to Ray wanting to do incredibly dangerous things like crossing the Atlantic in something called a hamster wheel of doom. Meanwhile, the U.S. Coast Guard wants to save Ray's life by not allowing him to attempt these stunts. I'm paraphrasing a long article, but that's, I think, essentially it. Ray is accused of an altercation in the latest run-in, which took place 70 nautical miles east of Georgia. Official charges are obstructing the boarding of a vessel by a federal authority. Maximum sentence would be 5 years. Also charged with violating a past Coast Guard captain's order. If you want to see the hamster wheel of doom and read the story at the link, do so, but please don't build one. They look quite fascinating, but I believe they would be dangerous for an ocean voyage. I'm on Team Coast Guard, I guess, on this, now that I think of it. God bless the Coast Guard for shutting down the Operation Hamster Wheel across the ocean. I'm afraid it's just too darn dangerous. One, two, three, four. Because weird happens. This is What a Weird Week.
2,
Our number 2 story this week, Tripod the three-legged bear quenches thirst with White Claws. This happened in Lake Mary, Florida. A three-legged bear stole some White Claw hard seltzers from a family's patio fridge. Looks like the family has a screened-in pool enclosure. You can picture it. You see these in Florida, this enclosure. That's where their outdoor fridge was. This three-legged bear, which the neighborhood calls Tripod, got into that fridge and was ready to party. Really, I need a citation on that. I don't know if the bear was ready to party. They got the whole thing on video, and I got to be honest, at first I was like, I don't know. Is this weird enough to make the Weird News podcast? Because we've had quite a few bear stories this spring and this summer. The bear that climbed into the second-story window, got a lot of bears ringing doorbells, and that bear that got high on cocaine and chased those movie stars. That one, wait, no, that was a movie. Never mind, that was a movie. Anyway, this bear is missing a claw and goes for the White Claws. We had to cover this one. If White Claw doesn't license that footage and give that Florida family a lifetime supply, I will protest. Not a lot. I won't protest a lot. You know what? I'm tired. That was my protest. I'm bushed.
Recap.
If you missed last week's top 10, it's still online. Here's the recap. Number 10 last week, very long stick of meat made headlines. Number 9, very long sandwich also made headlines. Number 8, very fast remote-controlled car breaks record and explodes. Also in the top 10, this just in, there are giant tanker trucks out there that have wine in them. We just came through the worst time for people taking a sick day. Did you notice it? Swedish man eats something gross very quickly. Gets world record. News crew robbed while covering robbery story. Our number 2 story, I couldn't even get into it. I just said nope. We also had a few honorable mentions in there. Gator in Jersey again. Mystery ducks. Loch Ness Monster mystery solved. Just kidding, wasn't solved. And our number 1 last week was hugging world record attempt. To listen to old episodes, shownotes.page. Find all the podcast stuff there. Our number 1 is next, and it's a world record that maybe you'll want to attempt this weekend. You can do this, and delicious. Thanks for checking out our weird news show. This is called What a Weird Week.
1.
Our top story this week, or weirdest story this week, our number 1 this week, donut world record. Congratulations to the Queen of Donuts. All hail the Queen of Donuts. A comedian, social media star from New York stacked 13 donuts in a minute, and that donut tower is a world record. No presh, but she also did this on live TV. Congratulations to Robin Shaw, your new Queen of Donuts. If she ever has to pay for another donut in her life, that is just wrong. I mean, she's the Queen of Donuts, for crying out loud. This is a record you should try to beat this weekend. Stack 13 donuts in 1 minute. If they fall over, you lose, but you don't really lose, right? Because then you get to eat delicious donuts. You can watch Robin break the world record. Watch the video. If you click the show notes or go shownotes.page, you can find that. That's it. That's a wrap for this week's What a Weird Week show. Thanks for listening. You can get us via podcast. We are also streaming weekends on Funhouse Radio. Ask your smart speaker to play Funhouse Radio.